Right.
Okay.
What's up,
So,
Rome? Rome's in the room.
all right. So reverse. I may just have to delete like that whole first part of the show. Do you want to like start over the this part of the this part of the conversation? Because I think I may just delete like the first part.
Yeah, so I mean, really what I was saying is like I've had two
Yeah.
scenarios that just stick in my
Mhm.
head. One is, this doctor who doesn't have time to date. She even doesn't have time to date or she's not interested. But she says she's interested. So are you lying? Like you're putting me in a position to think, are you lying to me or are you lying to yourself? Like you say you're
Okay.
interested in getting to know me, but it took us 3 days to have our first phone conversation.
Right.
Um, and stuff. So to me, that's just like, okay, you're not interested, or you're telling
Mhm.
yourself you want a man, but you don't really want to make time of what it takes to get a man.
Okay. Yeah.
And then this other scenario, meeting someone like she tells me she's divorced, and I just
Mhm.
politely, out of politeness, just kind of ask, and I wanted to see if she was like still hanging on to the relationship, and she spends
Mhm.
45 minutes talking about her ex.
Mhm.
And I mean, I'm not one to ghost, but yeah, I didn't call her back after that. And I don't really see it as ghosting because it's like, you should know. Like, you spent 45 minutes having me on the phone talking about your ex and you know, just went on and on and on. Like, I just don't know how, I never heard someone talk so fast. Um, so clearly, like again, like she says she wants to date, but
Yeah.
do you really want to date and you're up here just spending all that time talking about your ex-husband?
Right.
Um,
Mm. So
like,
you're saying that
yeah,
she's representing herself, like via dating apps or whatever, or in like in real life. I don't know how you said you met the one you said the doctor you met on Hinge. The other lady, where'd you meet her? The
the doctor I met on Hinge, the other one I met, like we met at a bar or something like that, and she gave me her number.
So you met her at a bar. So people like you said, like on Hinge and in real life are putting out this or putting up this putting this sign in the window that says, "Oh, we're hiring,"
Right.
but they're not accepting applications.
But then I accepted applications, right? You can't get an interview.
They're hiring from within, is what they
Or
do.
actually, they're
That's
usually
what.
like they'll accept your application, but you're not getting an interview. You're not getting a call back. Exactly. That's exactly what I see. You know.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny because that is actually how I feel sometimes. I feel like I do that sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Let me see what these. Let's see.
Bro.
Some women do want us to fix the problems they ex caused, and nobody got time for that. Eddie said
Right.
she needs a pillow. My mom said she's not ready to date. Yeah. But yeah, like I was saying, like I feel like I do that sometimes, and I feel like when I do, like put up the sign that says now hiring and whatnot. But um, but the thing is, I won't accept applications. Is the thing. Like I don't do that.
Yeah. Because we talked about your thirst traps that aren't thirst traps. So yes.
There's that. Um, yeah, no, that's the thing though. Is like sometimes people just want to post cool pictures or post pretty pictures or whatever.
Exactly.
But at the same time, it's just like until I say like, see, if you notice right now, I changed on my profile the other day. It says DMs are closed. That means no longer
Yeah.
accepting applications. Open enrollment is closed.
And you notice I didn't care. I seriously in your DMs. Like I just was like I don't care.
People that like for like new followers and whatnot, I'm stay on my DMs because I'm single right now. I'm very single. I've been single for like over 4 years now.
We
I've
know.
dated, but not like relationship.
We
Like, so
know
I've
you
been
keep
active, not
you keep
relationship.
rejecting my offers, so we know.
I'm not interested. That's why. You know,
Hurt my
I told
feelings.
you that.
Hurt
You'll
my
be okay.
feelings.
You will be
I'm gonna
just
cry
fine. You are a
too.
grown up.
I'm gonna hold up. Hold
Fine.
up. Let me get this tear out my ear. Okay. All right, I'm fine now. I got the tear out my eye.
Yeah, no, so and like I said, like I'm single right now, but I'm not looking is the difference. You know, like how you have people that
Right.
are like single and looking and single and not looking, you know? And so it's just like it's like they I don't know, like but sometimes like I said, like when I do, you know, like put the sign in the window says now hiring, I'll when I open again, I guess maybe I'll change my bio to DMs are open, apply within. I don't know. I'm never
You're
gonna
gonna
do
have a
that.
floodgate. You don't want to. I was
Would
about to say
never
you're gonna have a
do
floodgate. You don't want to do that.
that.
Um,
A lot of
Answer
people
me
have.
this: do men still do this? Like, if you say you broke up with
Give me 1 second. Hold on.
somebody,
Start the talking process. They realize that they don't want to be locked into one person. Oh, yep, that's true.
yeah.
That's true. Okay, go ahead. With your question.
So do men still like if they see that you broke up with somebody, they just like dive in like without even looking into the DMs? Does that still happen? That used to be like
What
a
do you mean?
problem like years ago. Like a
What do you
woman
mean?
could say, "Oh, I'm single now," like or like Facebook status, like change their Facebook status from dating to or taken to single, and um, several models that we mutually know would used to do that back in the day, and would end up with like 50 DMs. Um,
I have no clue. I have no clue. I don't like the only way that like I know about, like other like my homegirls DMs and like whether it be like on Facebook or Instagram or whatever it is if they tell me. Like, but it's not something that, like we talk about. It's not like typical girl talk. We don't be like, girl, I got 50 DMs today. And it's just like,
got you.
all right.
Well, I kind of have
Yeah.
to agree. Like, I think some people try to do it because it's therapeutic. Like, if I say I'm moving on, I'm moving
They're
on.
single,
But,
they want attention. Say that again?
sometimes Ron was saying that if they say they're single
Then
online, that
they
they want an attention, that they want the attention. And I was like,
that's
I kind of agree.
yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Mm-hmm.
So you didn't say for
Mm-hmm.
you, like, what do men, you didn't
All right,
answer
my
your own
sister.
question. That was,
Oh, sorry, give me 1 second. So
mhm.
my sister agreed, absolutely. My sister said the DM diving men don't care about your relationship status. They gonna try it. They about to dive in regardless.
Yeah, pretty
um,
much.
we'll be doing dirt in the DMs. Oh, do tell, Brian. Do tell what you talking about. Okay, so which question were you saying I didn't answer?
Um, oh, I forgot what it was. The one about, yeah, do you think men portray themselves? Do you think what men
Mm,
portray themselves to be accurate in Charlotte? No?
no.
Why?
No. Hold on, give me 1 second. Not on the local level, not on the regional level, national, internationally, social media, real life, none of that. I don't think that men portray themselves accurately at all. Because, I'll tell you why. I feel like the majority, a very, very, very good percentage of men have money, right? Whatever amount of money it is, he can have $20, okay? Okay. and I have a head cold this week, so I had to stay hydrated, and now I'm out. So y'all bear with me. Okay. So no, I don't feel like so like they could have, like I said, $20, right? They could have $1 billion, right?
Right.
They are going to flaunt like they have it all. Like they have all of the money in the world. Okay? But this is the thing though. They want to get mad when women want them for their money. But that's what they're presenting. You know what I'm saying? Like they're representing themselves to be this man that can buy this and that and this bag and this car and this drink and these tables and these bottles and all kinds of stuff like that. But they want to call a chick a gold digger if she just wants it for his money. But you're not out here representing that you're an intelligent individual. You're not out here representing that you are a good father to your kids. You're not out here representing that you are, whatever it may be. You're presenting yourself to be somebody that got it like that and can show it and can flaunt it and all of this stuff. But then you want to get mad when women see you when all they see in you is your money. But that's what you're showing everybody.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and I think, I'm sorry, my cat is like asking for attention. So I think it's what I said earlier, like both men and women use what we think attracts the other party. So I think women uses hypersexualization, but then get mad and women have a right to do this, have to be upset. And it can also go too far. Like just because, like I actually try my best not to show what kind of money I have. Like I grew up with money, and I'm open about that. But I've always been told not necessarily to hide it because like a woman's not going to want you, like, make sure she wants you for you. Like that's not the reason I do it. I just do it because I don't want the other drama of what comes around with spending money. Plus, what I spend my money on, like with like the flashy stuff is usually not the things I care about. So like I just need a car that goes to A and B. I don't have to have the most fanciest car. And so all of that for me is not what's fancy. What I care about is the family estate, my own personal retirement plan. Am I going to be able to retire without having to, work after? Like I don't want to work past 60. Like I'm not even waiting to 65. So like that's the things I care about. And I care about food. Like people who know me like know I'm like I'll spend $50 just on food on myself. So it's nothing for me. Like people will be like, oh, fancy restaurant. Like that's just an everyday thing for me. But yeah, like do have women come to me just for my money? Yes. And then I've also had women just the opposite. Like, I'm here saying like I tried to downplay the type of money I have. And I've had women like, again, on a dating app, it's like, oh, you cheap or you broke. And I'm laughing my butt off. It's like, you don't know what's in my bank account. Just because I don't want to spend it on you doesn't mean like, I just don't want to spend it on you.
Yes. Monet says all that matters is a man that's fiscally responsible. Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, like I just want to be fiscally responsible for myself. And I mean, when you say like females flex too, yeah, like women definitely flex.
We can get to that. I'm gonna let you finish talking first, though. I'm gonna let you finish talking first, and then we can talk about it.
Like I mean, I agree. Like there's definitely the man out there that's like, that will talk shit about a woman, but how did you attract that woman that you're talking shit about? And guys do it too, like or women do it. It's like all he wants me is for my body, but how did you attract him? So just there's something that I always try to keep in my head, and it keeps me level. I try to think about it in business. I try to think about it in relationships. Just who you are should be evident by what you do. So
Mm-hmm.
the analogy I would use is like, if you want a church-going man, then, are you trying to find a church-going man? Where are you trying to find that church-going man? Like,
Not at the club.
not at the club, right? Like,
Not at the club.
not
Unless it's
at the
Club
club,
Church.
right?
Club Jesus. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. All right. So let's talk about the women's play. Okay, let's wait. Let's read Ed's comment first. That man may be trying to show that he's financially stable, but the woman takes it the wrong way as him saying he can pay for everything that you want. I don't know how I feel about that, because I don't
Yeah, I'm on the fence
understand
about
how
that
you
too.
can I don't understand how you can show a woman that you're financially stable, because I feel like that's two different types of people. That's two different types of man that I'm referring to then, right? So you show me bottles in the club, tables, flashy cars, fancy clothes, brand names, crap, and I'm supposed to be impressed by that, but you live in an apartment. You don't own nothing.
You see, that's interesting, because
That's,
I live in an
that's what I'm
apartment,
saying.
but
That's
I
two
own
different people.
but I own three houses. Like, I
That's
own
what
three
I'm saying.
houses.
Like versus somebody that, has investments or has land, or, like different, or runs businesses or something like that. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? That's something that I'm more not impressed, but more so I'm just like, oh, okay, this is how you show somebody that you're financially stable. You know what I'm saying? Because all of this stuff, bottles in the club, you paying how many? Jay, tell them how many times a bottle they paying. How many times a bottle they're paying for the same bottle that they can get at the liquor store. Tell them what's the difference, like with the bottle price and whatnot. She gonna know.
Oh, I
But
know it's ridiculous. That's why you would never see, again, like, you would never see me doing that unless it's like a special occasion. Like, I'm not like, wait, the same bottle I can pay $30 for is $150? Like, you're crazy.
more than that at certain places for sure.
Right.
Absolutely. And it's
Now, I'll
just
tell
like,
you, actually, this is funny to talk about, like, what guys do. So we were in, what was After Butter? I forgot the name of it, but that place, that joint.
oh, I don't know. I don't
We were
remember.
down there one night, and I knew the
Uh-huh.
bartender, so she was like, "Yeah, just come through." So me, my boy, and my homegirl, we come through, and these bad girls come in. Like, I would say
Mm-hmm.
there was like four of them come walk in. All of them at least eight out of tens. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, I'm looking at them, and I'm like, but that's all I'm doing. It's like, I'm just looking. I'm like, okay.
Uh-huh.
So this dude walks up to him, whisper in one of their ears, buys all of them shots. His call gets declined. The girls are like this.
Uh-huh.
Like, they just sipping the shots. They had to walk old boy out. Like, his call got declined. I was like, my dog, like, you buying 4 or 5 shots and you didn't check the card first, like.
No, it's money on there. You just gotta tell. Let me wipe it off real quick. It's money on there.
Oh yeah, it's money
It was
on there.
just
He
right
did
there
wipe it
earlier.
off,
Let
right?
me call the people real quick.
Right. My girl, she just bought something, she just bought a big bag, and I didn't know it. But
Ah,
yeah, they was like, we're just gonna drink these drinks. Like, they did not care. They was savage. I'm like, oh my God.
man, that's it. Like, it's just like, and so, like with those two types of guys that we're referring to, like the ones with the bottles in the club, flashy cars, different crap like that, right? They are going to attract the girls that you're referring to, right? Agree? Yeah.
Right. Like, yeah, you're gonna attract what you think, and then the woman, she's gonna dive in or she's gonna push. Like I think Rome was saying that, like, a woman's gonna call you cheat. Rome was saying a woman would call a man cheat
Yeah, if you can't
if
pay
he's
for
not
the
doing
things that
his
she
right.
wants or she needs, something
Right.
like that.
So like,
I agree.
yeah, and I
I
agree.
agree.
It's just
Some
like,
women
but
will.
if you portray yourself that way, that
Yeah.
I can pay for everything, then what if she comes at you like, okay, I expect you to pay everything,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't, then what value are you to her?
Mm, right.
So like women, like, and let's take money out of it because I'm also a bit nerdy. So
Okay.
women will really be like, oh, I really love how intelligent you are, but then I also find that same woman sometimes that gets, you're gonna leave me because you're so smart. Like, especially when I was in college, I used to get all the time like, you're just gonna leave me for a white woman, so I'm gonna leave you first. And I'm like, what? Like, I've never dated a white woman in my life. Um, and but
Well,
that's, again, this is like what you portray yourself to be. Um,
mm-hmm. And like you said, or like we were saying, like it's also, like who you attract, like different type, the ways that you portray, like I can physically attract the world, right?
right,
However, um, there are certain types of people that like are going to, so let's say like make it, I'm trying to think of how I want to uh oh, actually we could do them like filters like they do on dating sites and stuff, right? So like
hmm,
certain people, so like I'm attracting these people right here, right? There's only a certain amount of people that are, because it's not gonna be the bottle poppers, right? If I was like that interested in dating and whatnot, it's not gonna be people just popping bottles and all kind of stuff like that I'm gonna be, ooh, no, 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 no. And so it's just like you can attract all different types of people, but it's the type of people that you are representing yourself to. Gosh, how do I say this? I feel like my words are getting twisted right now.
it's the drugs that you want.
I know it is. It is. It's the wall tussing. It's got to like all right, let me start that statement over then because I can't get my words straight. But it's all about the different types of people. Like you can attract so many different types of people, but the people that you respond to and the way that you represent yourself to the people that you're interested in, then
Right,
it's gonna be like a whole different other space. You know what I'm saying?
right.
Does that make sense? Or am I talking in circles right now?
No, I think you're right. I think,
Oh my
the
gosh.
type of person you say you want, like, does the person you say you want match up with what you're portraying to be?
Right,
And
right, right.
I think, I also think, so that makes me think about my ex-girlfriend's sister. Like, she talks about
Okay.
how she wants a man that makes just as much as her, and she makes,
Mhm.
like, I think 200K. So she's
Mhm.
got this whole list, which we'll just talk about, like, the chance of her finding a man that fits everything on that list is like 1%. So that's another story.
Okay.
But she's the type of woman who's like, oh, I want a man that leads, but won't let a man lead. Like, no man is gonna,
Mhm.
and I'm not trying to sound like Kevin. I hate Kevin, but Samuels.
Yeah.
But um, like, there's just a certain type of guy. Like, yeah, like I'm not, like, I'll just speak for myself. Like,
Mhm.
I told some people, it's like, if I want to open the door for you, I shouldn't have to fight and run and be out of breath running to the door to open the door for you. Like, that's a
Mhm.
kind gesture. I
Mhm.
don't think that belittles a woman to let a guy do that. I don't think that
Mhm.
means you're helpless if you let me open the door for
Okay.
you.
Right.
Um, but at the same time, like, that does also mean that there's other things that I would or wouldn't do for you because I'm being polite enough to open the door for you. Does that make sense? Like, I'm trying to think. So like if I open the door for you, doesn't mean I know how to change your tire or I know how to
Mm-hmm.
protect you. Like don't fall all into it. Say, oh, he opens the door, so he knows how to do this, this, and this, because he may or may not.
Uh-huh.
Said you're high.
I was about to respond to him and say yes.
But you can be this person that, you know, just like assumes that what you you know, a guy does one thing and now you assume it. Like again with the money part, you could just be like,
Mm-hmm.
oh my God, so he has money, so he's going to spend it on me. Like, no,
Mm-hmm.
like that doesn't mean
Right.
he's going to spend it on you. Like, just again,
Right.
just me. Like, I'm very
Right.
selective of who and what I would spend my money on. And when I do
Uh-huh.
spend my money, it's usually it's because like money is just a means to an end to me. Like, I don't necessarily
Okay.
care. Like,
Mm-hmm.
as long as I'm meeting my goals, I don't
Mm-hmm.
care. Like,
Yeah.
but yeah. But some people just like,
Yeah.
oh my God, you did X, Y, Z. I'm like, yeah, so
Exactly. And you know, like and oftentimes it's not necessarily about the way that you're representing yourself. Is more so about the way that people perceive you regardless, you know.
right.
Jay
Yeah.
said I am. She's high. But yeah, like it's not necessarily, you know, like about the way that you represent yourself or presenting yourself to people. It's about the way that people receive you regardless.
Yeah, when I worked in politics, they said there's three they used to say there was three truths. My boss told me first day in politics. He said there's three truths. I worked for the governor as a lobbyist.
Mm-hmm.
First job out of college. And she
Mm-hmm.
said there's three truths, Robert. There's what the legislators say is true, there's what the media says is true, and there's what the governor says is true. Your job is to make sure the governor's truth is the one that wins. So you apply that same logic
Wow.
to people. There's, you know, what people think of you is true. Like,
Yeah.
you know, how many people think I'm this huge flirt that all I want to do is be a flirt.
Uh-huh.
And then there's what I believe is true about myself. And then
Mm-hmm.
there's what I actually do that hopefully will present who I really am and stuff. So all three of those could be out of alignment for you.
Uh-huh.
And, or, you know, hopefully at least one or two things are in alignment for you. But
Yeah.
like, I mean, I feel for the people where all three of those things is out of alignment. Like none of it matches. And like, you know, guys are calling you a gold digger. You're thinking that you're just looking for a guy to protect you, and then your actions
Mm-hmm.
are saying that you want to be Miss Independent. Like none of that mixes together.
Well, not necessarily. Those can coexist.
They can.
Somebody
You're right.
being independent as far as like in certain
Yeah, I meant
aspects.
Miss.
You understand?
Right. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Miss
Yeah.
Independent.
Yeah.
Like I don't need a man. Like I
Yeah.
don't need a man independent. Not like, oh,
Yeah.
it would be nice to have a guy to help me out, kind of thing. You're right.
Right. Right. Yeah. 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 Okay. Okay. And so my mama is telling my business right now.
You know which
She
one
didn't
is
have
it,
to put
Mom?
Sissy J53. She
Okay.
did not have to put those 3 drinks on there. Talking about just one of those days. I only had 1 drink and I didn't even finish it. So don't even be putting me out there like that, okay?
How you gonna
Okay.
roll your head at your mom? Like, oh, lie.
I do worse than that in person, so just she knows. She knows. She already knows. Okay, so it's a net in here.
So
Well,
Jay,
I'm
you
high.
know, I wanted Jay knows like Jay used to be on my bucket list of models, but she always curved me, would never shoot with me back in the day. Before I even moved to Charlotte, Jay, I
Oh
was
yeah.
like, oh my God, yeah. I was like, I gotta shoot with Jay. And she,
No, Jake, everybody talking about weed now. Hey, y'all enjoy it however y'all got to,
Yeah,
okay?
like, whatever it takes
Um,
to make you happy.
okay, so now we're gonna talk about like to wrap up the show or whatever because we got like 10 minutes left. We're gonna talk about like how people can or different ways that people can attract who they want, who and what they want. But I feel like the
Mm,
first step to that is just being real about like who you actually are. You know, like because we've discussed this on a prior show as well, as far as like just being true to yourself. I always tell you
hmm.
guys to be true to yourself, tell your truth, and all kind of stuff like that. But the difference between like saying it and like I'm sorry, should I say it's a big difference between saying be true to yourself and people actually doing it, you know? Um, oh, excuse me. And people actually doing it. Um,
Right.
y'all, I am really fading fast right now. I cannot help it. I can't help it. I've never smoked a day in my life, but these over the counter cough medicines and whatnot, truly. Okay. But let's try to finish up this show. As far as like how to attract like who you really want. You know, like I said, start off by being true to yourself and not being the type of person to jump from like relationship to relationship. And like I said, I've been
Right.
single, like for over 4 years now. And I told Romeo before that I like graduated from single and I'm like going for my doctorate or whatever. I don't know. you know. Um but it's just but I said, I'm like currently still dating people and everything like that. Said KJ, you're on the show. Yeah, I'm dating people and everything like that. But it's like the more that I date, I am learning, about who
Right.
I am, what I actually want, because there's so many things that used to, like that I used to think that I wanted and everything like that. And I'm just like, nope, don't want that anymore. And I've learned that through, dating and getting to know myself better, which is, like I'll call this dating is, what is it? It's getting to know more about yourself. It's not just learning the other person, You
Right.
understand? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I do.
So,
I think
mhm.
it's, dating isn't just about, like you said, it's not about just taking that time to get to know that person.
Yeah.
It's hopefully you're going to find and learn something about yourself. Um,
Mhm.
what I found is I'm sometimes at odds. Like when I was particularly a full-time photographer,
Mhm.
there's the side of me, there's the PhD nerdy side of me, and then there's the fashion photographer side of me. And
Mhm.
what I found back then was the two were at odds, not necessarily because of that I couldn't find them. It was just like the woman that fit in my academic world
Mhm.
wasn't comfortable in the fashion world.
Okay.
And the woman who fit in my fashion world, it was hard to find one that basically just it was hard to find one that fit in both. Or she was
Yeah.
jealous of the other. Like,
Okay.
had if she had, you know, the quote unquote beauty, she was
Mhm.
insecure about, being around my friends with their degrees. Or
Mhm.
it's like, what do you mean you're about to go shoot a bikini? Like, that was just like, I mean, plenty of women's like, yeah, I can't date you because you're around pretty women all the time. And I'm like, but I'm with
Mhm.
you. Like, it doesn't matter. What I try to do
Yeah.
now is just show effort. Like my effort, like there's a difference between me flirting and me showing effort. And I usually say that, like
Okay.
when, like you'll know when I want you.
Yeah.
And also it's also about
Yeah.
the time. Like there's a difference between me sliding a DM, like that's not anything for me. But when I actually like, oh, let me take the time to call her, versus
Uh-huh.
working. Like I'm about to go back to the office after
Yeah.
this,
Uh-huh.
and stuff. But if I can go 3 or 4 days, actually, yeah, like, and I've been known to do this. If I can go 3 or 4 days without thinking about calling or texting you, I'm not into you, and I got to be honest about that with myself too.
Yeah.
Like, what
Yeah.
is it about her or me that's like I'm so focused on my work,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
that I do that. So, like, what is it for me? It's just what is it going to take for me to want to settle down and slow down? But at the same time,
Mm-hmm.
like, I'm not living a playboy life that people think they are. But
Mm-hmm.
um, I do enjoy.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess there's bits and pieces. Like you said, the apartment thing. Like I told someone, it's like I chose the bachelor apartment life, but
Yeah.
um, I mean, the
I
offer
mean,
I
but
got
that's
from
the
my
other,
house.
see, that's the other side of the sword is that, as far as like the representation, like the way that people present themselves and stuff like that, is that like how I was talking about earlier about like the other side of the sword is that, um, that you can't necessarily, not to say like judge a book by its cover, because like when I say that, people think that you're talking about like looks, but just not so it's not necessarily like looks like to look at something or to look at
Right,
someone. It's more so like Ed mentioned earlier that he may just be like the dude in the club and stuff like that. Like you can't judge that guy just because he's throwing money in the club. But
right,
if he is thinking that I'm going to be impressed by that, nope.
right.
You're gonna have to show
And
me
I
another
think you
side for
can
me to be
judge. Like if I'm in the
impressed.
club, I'll be in the club Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and
That's
Saturday
exactly
this
right,
week,
Trey.
and doing it next week, then again, like who you are should be evident by what you do. So, I mean,
That's very
like,
true. But like this one right here, like my bestie Trent, he says, you really don't know what you want in your partner until you figure out who you are. I agree with that. Like that. So the
exactly,
part about
exactly.
yeah, with time your priorities change. Absolutely, absolutely.
Like if
Mhm.
right, and like for me, like what I'm looking for now is just like, yeah, I'm not saying it's impossible to find, but it's not like
Yeah.
I'm not going to find it just by signing some girl's DM. I'm not going to find it
Yeah.
just by um, being on a dating app. Would I do those
Mhm.
things is just to make myself available.
Mhm.
So like again, like you can say you're looking, but do people know you're looking? Like I think that was like one of your questions. Like
Right.
do people know you're looking? So like for
Right.
me, it's just like I just make sure like okay, I am single,
Mhm.
um, and ultimately for me, it's just like you're going to be treated well by me. Like I'm a gentleman. I believe in courting,
Mhm.
and 9 times out of 10, hopefully what you see is that. Like if you're just
Uh-huh.
like, okay, I have an idea of how Robert would treat me if we dated. The
Yeah.
idea of do I want to date you will come with me getting to know you. Like, do I want to spend time with you? Let me find out.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's what it is, though. But like I said, I feel like the most important thing is really just knowing who you are, first of all, and
Hmm.
figuring out what it is that you want. Because, like I said, you can attract everybody at the same time, right? But
Right.
yeah, but like until you know who you are and what you really want, you can pick, and it's gonna be wrong, 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 wrong. You know?
Exactly. And you're
Yeah,
blaming the other person. Like you're blaming yourself. You're blaming other people for your own choices.
yeah,
Rather than
yeah.
again just taking ownership of, like you said, like you don't
Hmm.
know what you want because you don't know who you are.
Yes, 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 yes. I feel like that's like the biggest takeaway from this show, as far as like the name of the show being introducing and everything like that, and what you represent yourself to be and everything like that. Like y'all just be true to yourself, figure out who you are and what you want, then you can really get what you want and who you want.
Right.
You know? Yeah, I feel like
Right.
that's the gem of the show right there. That's the whole point of the show right there.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much for being on tonight.
Thank you for
And
having me.
working with me through the technical difficulties and stuff like that, or that apparently were just on my end. Maybe I've been high the whole show. Who knows? You know, maybe I'm gonna have my own show.
You imagine the whole thing. He's like, Robert's glitching. Everybody's like, Robert's fine.
That would be so crazy if I was just crazy.
If you go back and see, it's like it was not glitching. Yo, I've been that sick once.
Oh man.
I did that one time. I was so sick. I thought I had this conversation with a client, and I thought I sold like $2 million out of their portfolio. So I called my boss. I'm like, did I do such and such? And she was like, no. I'm like, are you serious? Like, we had this conversation. I sold $2 million from this portfolio. I'm in trouble. And they were like, Robert, you did. I had did it in my dream, and it was just like so good.
Lord.
It was just so sick. Like, I had just like, Robert, you haven't logged into the system in like a month. That's how sick I was. Like, I was on personal leave for being sick.
Yeah,
So,
all right. This is what it is. The moral of the story is take care of yourself
Right.
and don't trade properties when you or don't do business or podcasts when you're sick.
Right. Yes.
Oh my gosh. Y'all, thanks for tuning in to Sex Lives Relationships, the podcast. Have a good night. Thank you.